And now they know it's become synergy. So
That's
if you want
right.
to introduce the topic, I think people wanted us to maybe discuss this a little bit. I'm going to be. I don't have like a hot take, but I think we can discuss it.
I don't have a hot take either. I've almost saved my hot take for now. So the topic we are talking about is Lewis Buchanan signing for OnlyFans. So he's running like a Red Bull helmet, but an OnlyFans helmet.
Yep.
Okay, so OnlyFans. Talk to me about what your first impressions are about OnlyFans.
Okay, so my first impression of OnlyFans is that it probably started out as a way for people to engage with influencers, celebrities, and to purchase content off them to support their careers. That's how I think it probably did start. And I think it probably did start like that. I guess they probably thought, okay, we can get ex-footballer or mountain biker or whatever to start sharing tips, and then people will be able to pay for their tuition.
Yeah.
Only fans could pay for the tuition. It's not just thrown on YouTube for anyone to see. That's how I think it started. Is that fair? What's your first?
Yeah, porn site, but like.
But that's the thing.
But no, I do absolutely agree. And actually, strangely, they did reach out to me about starting my own OnlyFans page.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, we talked about it on here, didn't we? And they were like,
so.
"Look, we're trying to kick this image." I think it's really difficult because what can a company do to kick its image other than this? So this just ends up happening, doesn't it? So OnlyFans became this porno site.
But that's what, in history, that's what happens. So adult entertainment, porn, whatever we call it, usually seems to lead the way when it comes to technology. So any sort of technology that comes to market, a lot of the time, it's adult entertainment that's driving it, 'cause it's one of the biggest things, right? So it's like the streaming on the internet. First thing that streamed, porn, right?
Yeah,
that's pretty much what it was. If you remember going all the way back, it was the Paris Hilton. It was the Pamela Anderson.
Oh yeah,
sex tape, I think, was one of the first things that was like streaming online. I think. Don't quote me on that. But then also, I think VHS, heavily driven by porn. Streaming, heavily driven by porn. Virtual reality, heavily driven by porn. So this is just what happens. Adult entertainment just thinks, oh, we can use that technology, and they blow it up.
Yeah, its technology is advanced by both military and porn. It would seem,
great,
isn't it?
Yeah, it seems that way, right?
Oh, what a wonderful world! What a wonderful world! I had an interesting conversation with someone who's it's when you meet someone, you want to know certain people, you want to know their opinion on things, and they often have strong opinions and they're considered opinions. Yeah, and they were saying that they don't think it should be allowed. But then
interesting.
But then I think the thought of censoring that means you've got to censor. You don't want to have censor. I think you should be. OnlyFans isn't a porn site. It's actually just a place where you can upload and people can buy your content. It's not like it's OnlyFans bumhole pictures. The name isn't that, is it? It's
not. It's
just a platform.
So here's how I've been thinking about it as well. Okay, so let's take and I've actually got a lot of time for Lewis. I really like Lewis. Lewis has been on the podcast a few times. I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet here. I reached out to him straight away, congratulated him. Lol. I was like, you've broke the internet today. That's really good for you. Congratulations. Then I reached out to him after I noticed the comments had been turned off and was like, dude, I hope you're okay, because obviously some of the comments were pretty negative.
Oh,
There's a lot of jokes. Yeah, the innuendos are endless, dude. Like, the jokes,
but they're not nasty towards Lewis, are they?
I think a lot of them were being quite nasty.
That
a lot of them were being. So here's the way I was thinking about it, though. Okay, I appreciate Lewis, professional athlete, got to make money, right? And the way he's made some money probably is to sell a helmet spot. Is to take on a helmet sponsor that's covered his head in an OnlyFans logo. But what are Lewis? Who's Lewis's fan base? Young kids, I'd say. Is that fair to say? I think, given Lewis's position in the sport, the YouTube presence, the social media presence, his fan base is going to be predominantly younger people, I'd say.
Yeah.
Right? So, is that a good look when you've got that on your helmet? And let's say a kid's like cool, I want to follow Lewis. I want to spend $9 a month or whatever it is to follow Lewis's career. I want to get the tips and tricks. But going on that app, I don't know. I've never been on it. Does that open up the potential?
Yeah, I don't know.
Accidentally spell Lewis wrong, and then all of a sudden you're on some porn star.
Yeah, I think that's a really great point. Because actually, if you just type in OnlyFans, shall we do it live right now?
Yeah, please.
Because
let's do some digging.
And this is massively in their defence. For me, this is a point massively in their defence. Because I think if you just type in OnlyFans, I think you don't end up on a site with loads of porno. You just end up on
Here's what I did. I typed in OnlyFans, right? I clicked on the very first thing, onlyfans.com. I clicked it, and the first thing that came up is Eva V, at your Eva V, your unique sex blogger.
Oh.
That's the first thing that came up.
That's tough.
As in, like, the homepage goes to that, which is...
Is it?
How that's... Yeah. Also, if I put in OnlyFans on Google... The image on the right-hand side is the OnlyFans logo. It's then a woman with some pretty big boobs.
Yeah.
Like that. Let me send you a screenshot, dude, just so you can see.
Yeah,
this is really tough.
This is the thing. It is a really tough one, isn't it? So I clicked on onlyfans.com and it actually just came up with a login page, so you couldn't see anything.
Wow.
But
I wonder how mine does that though. Mine goes straight to this Eva V.
But down
5 posts, 11 likes.
Yeah,
that's so
idea.
Weird.
Down the side it says here, and this is the Wikipedia, or like the overview. It says OnlyFans is an internet content subscription service based in London, United Kingdom, full stop. The service is used primarily by sex workers who produce pornography, but it also hosts the work of other content creators such as physical fitness experts and musicians. You can't... It's primarily used by, but that doesn't mean that's what it's for. So no. I think there's no way you can say he can't have it. But he's weighed these things up, dude. I think that for me, as a bike rider that maybe has people approach him, I would always think not only about the people that consume your content or like look up to you, like kids, for instance, but also probably the other sponsors. So I would imagine Lewis has like talked to his other sponsors and they've been like, yeah, dude, go for it. I would imagine that's the case, because you wouldn't risk it over. Yeah, sure. It's out of industry money. It's going to be more than what a bike brand will offer, but it's not going to be like life changing. It's not like anyone in mountain biking really earns, footballer money or whatever. Yeah, it's not like
I mean, I was just looking as well. So OnlyFans have also got a Supercross rider, Logan Kurnow. Or Kurnow, I think, whatever you say it. I was just looking, he's done an interview on Racer X talking about it in October. Similar sort of vibe by the looks of things. He's got OnlyFans graphics. He's not got the OnlyFans helmets, but he has got OnlyFans down the side of his dirt bike. Man, this is a weird one. I think you've got outside money coming into the industry, which is great, but is this the right look? I don't know.
It's not for me. It's not for me. Absolutely not for me. But then I also kind of think like Lewis has an OnlyFans page. I've just clicked on it now, so you can subscribe to him. It's for free. Yeah. He's a pro mountain bike rider, and he creates content on the site. It's like you kind of can't argue with that it is just a platform. So as long as he's sending people there, it's not the look that I'd want. It's actually a really complicated question, isn't it? You got to really question what you.
And I think it's like, would it be as much of a big deal if he didn't have the helmet, the logo blasted all over his helmet, if he was just doing it? Because I bet there's other mountain bikers on there. Yeah,
no doubt.
Can you Google mountain bike? Like who else is on OnlyFans?
Let's have a look. Let's see if you can.
That might be. I can't even go on it, dude. Because as soon as I go on OnlyFans,
mate, I don't want to.
It brings up this girl.
I'm trying.
It's actually
not click on anything.
Gone now.
Has it? Let's Let's try it. So OnlyFans MTB.
Yeah.
Content. Because is it correct that they show the? Is it correct they show the earnings on OnlyFans? No,
I'm not sure.
I'm messing up it. I literally can't even look. I think I'm either too old or I'm just too crap at this.
I think you've got to be signed in to see people.
Yeah.
As well. Like if you Google OnlyFans mountain biker, the whole thing is Lewis. The whole thing is Lewis. Lewis Buchanan. Like the whole first page is Lewis Buchanan.
It is a really tough one. I'm sure he's
if
got
you
an
got
angle
exposure.
On it.
You got exposure because it blew
he's done
up.
it, hasn't he?
Like,
He's done it.
It blew up. You got over 300 pinkback comments for what that's worth. 320.
Right, should we read the press release? Is this boring? I don't think it is boring because it just raises.
I think it's interesting.
I think as well you can think about other alternatives to it because so there is a difference between OnlyFans and Pornhub, for instance. If Lewis was running a Pornhub helmet, it's quite hard to not think that is putting putting like a pornographic website in front of everyone who watches, which would include children, which is not what any of us want. So but OnlyFans is different, and if you're just sending people to your OnlyFans page, I don't know how they go about changing their image because that's what they're trying to do.
I think as well it's like once that image has been tainted, it's very difficult to untaint. It's very difficult to undo that. It was not that long ago that OnlyFans tried to ban porn off the platform.
There you go,
and it didn't end well for them. It went straight back on because so many people would have lost out on earnings and this and that. And man, I don't know. It's again, we're into that whole moral debate. You know, is there anything wrong with people using it to do that stuff if people are willing to pay for it?
Right.
I honestly, I don't know. I don't think there is. I think the issue is people who shouldn't see it seeing it.
Okay,
that's my sticky point.
Yeah. I agree.
So to speak.
I agree with everything you say, but what I reckon we can't do, which we're probably guilty of doing, and anyone on a podcast is guilty of doing, is just sort of like raising stuff, stirring it up, and then not having an angle. And I've deliberately not thought about this until now.
Yeah.
So now I feel like both of us should have closing statements on whether it's good, bad, what our feelings and thoughts are on it.
Okay.
I feel like we need to be able to just put that in a paragraph. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd love to do that. I'd love to try and do that. Yeah, I'd love to try and do that.
Okay. So let's just have a moment. Maybe we can cut this bit out and we can just think about our closing statements. as if our statements fucking matter. I love it.
Like Jerry's final thought.
Yeah.
All right, so my closing statement would be, I appreciate Lewis trying to bring in external money into the sport. I think that's fantastic. I would love to know if his account and access to his account is some way blocks the content that we don't want young people to see. That makes sense? Okay, this is an awful final paragraph.
No, it's not. I think that's a really good point.
There's a way to do this which isn't just driving minors to OnlyFans to try and sign up, because it looks like, from what we've seen and what I've just seen, the first thing you're going to see is something you don't want your own kids to see that are underage.
There you go.
Well done, Lewis. Congratulations for breaking the internet.
Yeah, good on you. You've done a good job. So I think my closing statement would be, I prefer the way this looks to the way it looks if we... I think that censorship should be down to the individual and their moral compass, not down to anyone else. Because as soon as you go to anyone else, awful closing statement. But I think that is what I get stuck on is, if you were to not allow it because there are underage audience or whatever, I think that looks worse, because you then have to explain that in a sentence. So then you just...
Do we allow cigarette companies in mountain biking?
No.
And not that cigarette... Not that it's similar, but...
No, but it is, because there's an age. So just regardless of... Yeah.
There's an age limit. Yeah,
exactly. No, we don't.
What I was trying to say.
We don't.
Okay.
But I think...
But we do allow alcohol.
Yeah, I just think it should be down to the individual, and I think that's and Lewis has looked at this and he's decided and he's taken it on board. And
he's not stupid.
And so I think that it lies in the individual's decision, and he won't have taken it lightly, and I'm sure going to be putting good content out, and he's decided that the content that he's going to put out is better than the backlash it's going to get from all of the porno side of the conversation.
I think
terrible closing
let's
statement.
Hear from people.
Sorry.
The comments are going to be better to read. Please leave us a comment below, either on the full thing or here on the clip. Let us know what you think down below. Let's open discussion. Let's try and for what it's worth, just try and discuss it. See what we think. But fantastic. Okay.
Hey, should we?
We tried.
Yeah, we tried. I'm sorry. I did a really bad closing statement. I knew what I meant, but just putting it in a sentence is really very difficult, you know?
That's a tough one.
I think a good exercise is always to go to the extremes of... let's just... the helmet is a very... the extremes of OnlyFans, the darkest depths. No, okay, so the helmet on a bike rider is sort of like the pinnacle billboard area, I would say. One of it's the frame for me and the helmet. They're the two fucking, the biggest logo placement is the frame, and then the helmet is this sort of like, it tends to be this out of industry billboard, doesn't it? And so let's go from the mild end of it, which would have loads of money and the moral implications, to the most extreme end of it, like fucking Pornhub or something. God, stop swearing. I'm swearing loads this episode, my apologies. So, what would be the mild end? Would it be a bank, for instance? Would it be a
bike brand?
A helmet, full paint job?
Helmet brand?
Could it be
some sort of like supplement sponsor? Something that is probably a good... Here's what I don't understand how I'm trying to say this, but like a positive... impact sponsor. If so that would be I know it sounds like we're trying to do a plug, but like Athletic Greens, that's probably a positive thing that you could put into your body. Okay, now is an energy drink 100% positive? No, probably not. So I think that actually probably sits in the middle of all of this.
So true. So
you've got like something that doesn't have any implication to the human body, a bank, trying to think, a tourism company, travel agent, something that's like attached but not attached.
Yeah, I think it would be hard to I think really the
God, this is hard.
It is, isn't it? I think really like the kind of either extreme is just dictated by your own personal feelings on that product. So if it is like a supplement that you use every day, it's very easy to put that on the helmet. If it's an energy drink that you use every day, it's very easy for you to then be representing that brand. So, like, I get so I guess on that end, on the end of the spectrum that's very mild, it would just be things that you use every day. Milk, it'd be like, it'd be like simple things, water, it'd be supplements, maybe public transport, just shit like that, like
true,
oil companies, whatever. And then it would go all the way to,
the most
maybe not oil.
Darks.
We all use oil companies, but like maybe you wouldn't want to put that.
Yeah, I wonder what would have got the most backlash: the Shell helmet or the OnlyFans helmet?
The Shellmet.
Decent.
Yeah, it's alright.
Decent.
No, for sure OnlyFans, because it just has a knee-jerk, it gives you a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah, but look at the response that British Cycling got when they signed Shell.
Yeah,
It's very similar response.
But I feel like you peel one layer of the onion back for the British Cycling one and you're like, oh wait, literally everything I use has oil in it. You sort of, you know what I mean? Whereas not everyone is like, oh wait, literally I've just come out of the toilet using my OnlyFans account, looking at pictures of feet. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It is interesting, isn't it? Because there's those like a lot in California. Obviously, cannabis is legalized, so then there's lots of like cannabis helmets and like weed stores, aren't there, on people's helmets?
That was interesting at first because certain athletes were sponsored by those brands, but they couldn't use them in certain cities. So you'd have Chad Reed actually was on. The CBD, I can't remember what it's called, CBD something.
Yeah.
And then Dean Wilson actually was on Ignite, but never had it anywhere on his thing. Like Dan Bilzerian's thing. He was on Ignite, I believe. He filmed a video at his house, did loads of stuff, but never actually promoted it because it was... Yeah. You weren't allowed to.
There we go. This is a good one. So this one gets us down So I wouldn't promote that, and it's not because I think there's anything really wrong with weed smoking, but I wouldn't want to push that on people. I mean, it would be like, it's not that I think there's anything wrong with Christianity, but when it's forced on you, it pisses you off, and it's like, shut up, stop.
Yeah,
I think that's almost comes into it, doesn't it? So it's like,
that's an interesting point you've made there. Sorry, is that the point of the helmet and the sponsorship is to make sales?
Yeah,
it's yeah, okay, you could look at it as just brand awareness, but also OnlyFans want people on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
And who are they targeting when they partner with Lewis? Are they targeting an old audience? Probably not. They're probably targeting a younger audience.
yeah,
And then the same with anything, any helmet sponsor. I mean, Red Bull, you could say the same thing. What are they marketing at? Young people, old people? I don't know. But yeah, like I said, the point of that whole thing is for brand awareness and to make sales.
Yeah.
That's the point. So, like you say, you are advertising it and you are trying to justify having that helmet because more people are buying said product.
yeah. I think both are a really great example. When British Cycling had the Shell thing, it's not the most suited sponsor, but then equally, how can Shell change their image? How can they have a positive impact? How can they support something that they believe is good without doing something like that? So it's easy to criticise, and actually the same goes for OnlyFans. How can they ever change their image? This can be... Realistically, this is like smart people that have made a really great platform for people to make money and create content, which is the same as YouTube. It's the same as every single other platform out there. So all they've done is created this platform, and it's been taken over. It just happens to have, like, however the internet works, it comes in waves.
I don't know how I don't know how OnlyFans work. Whether once you're on there, you have access to everything. But here's what I think could be a hot take: is that maybe when they're approaching pro athletes and stuff, maybe it's called Only Pros, and it's really heavily
could work for either.
Yeah, very true. Very, very true.
Let's not do pros.
Let's not do pros. Guys, fantastic.
do you ever...
Maybe only something else.
Do you ever think, listening to this, you must just be able to think, like, the majority of the people that listen are probably smarter than us, and they can just hear our stupid brains thinking, like in real time, they're just shouting at the speakers, guys, that's not the point.
But maybe that's the way. Maybe not. That's not the name, but maybe another platform which is hosted on the exact same platform, but it's heavily policed, and the only thing you will see on there is professional sports people.
Yeah, I think that would be a good way. I think you're right. So there's different brackets, and then you go to the dark one that requires an extra password or a proof that you're 18 or whatever it is.
Yes,
who knows?
Exactly. Yeah. And I don't know if that's a thing, and hopefully OnlyFans clarify that somehow.
I mean, the whole funny thing is the majority of the internet is porn anyway, and it's like if I was younger of an age, I would be on the internet. It's not like I wouldn't look it up. I only didn't because I couldn't. You know what I mean? As soon as I could, I did.
Yeah.
So
same, mate.
And even that's pretty weird, and it's not good for you, is it? To see all of that.
It's not good for you. It's not good for you at all. There's a great video by Andrew Huberman about porn and how it infects your brain. It's really interesting.
Is there? Yeah.
Something that yeah. We don't need to get into. Something that I cut out not that long ago.
This morning.
3 hours. But it's I don't know, man. Interesting topic. Do you want to do another semi-interesting topic?
But mate, I love it. Yeah, let's move on from it. But well done, and also sorry to hear it to everyone involved in the OnlyFans deal. I don't know.
Got some eyes on it. Certainly got some
Done
attention.
Job,
Holy shit!
Yeah.
It overshadowed the whole UCI announcement.
Yeah.
In my opinion, like that came out in the morning, and Lewis dropped that news in the evening, and I, again, I messaged him, and I was like, dude, you've totally overshadowed all of the UCI announcement.
Yeah, there you go.
So well done. It certainly worked. Certainly have some brand power. Did you enjoy this clip? If so, please like and subscribe. The full episode is available by hitting one of the links on the screen right now, or type The Ride Companion into your favourite podcast app. We've even put links in the show description for you. Cheers!